You see, I don't think that Stevie Boy is about truth. If he was, he would not be so biased. He, like I say, he's promoting a political idea, and he's promoting himself. Let's go to another thing that I thought was really, really, it just blew my mind as far as how. I mean, I've got friends who are really smart that think this guy is they don't see how this guy is a huckster. But this is something he says. He says government. He says government is defined as, and he says this just isn't something I'm making up. He said that this is just not something I'm making up. And then he goes on to say, and Barack Obama defines it this way. So now he's saying that Barack Obama says this, and he's not making it up. And the quote is, a group that government is defined as a group of individuals with a monopoly on the right and the obligation to initiate the use of force in a geographical area. I looked all over the internet for an instance of Barack Obama saying that. Stevie is lying to you. Stevie Boy, it just pulled that out of his ass. Now, it's interesting because the language, and I eluded, I try not to evade, I eluded earlier to the point that language and thoughts are very connected. So what did come up was a lot of anarchist and Ayn Rand information and people debating such. I didn't see Barack Obama coming up with that quote anywhere. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe I didn't dig hard enough. So if you can show me where Barack Obama said that, then I will apologize for being wrong. But at this point, I have to call Stevie a liar. Stevie Boy just lied, And then he goes on to redefine, to clarify, to pass taxes. Taxes are initiation of force. Well, once again, he's redefining the language. And this goes into, and just real quick, Webster's defines government as the act or process of governing, specifically authoritative direction or control. So there's no use of the word monopoly. The language is entirely different. You can argue, but it's pretty obvious to me that this guy has just twisted things to suit his philosophy. He's saying ideas are universal that clearly aren't. And is he a cult? Is him and his ilk and his group, are they a cult? Well, according to what amount of research I've done on this, I would say not yet. But he uses a lot of the very same tactics with, telling people they owe nothing to their families and convincing people of that argument, and a lot of those kinds of things. And just for the record, because I've read and looked into some stories on this, if you're in an abusive situation, if your parents beat you or your spouse or what have you, yes, I believe you totally have a right to remove yourself from that environment. But I don't think that he doesn't put that condition. And if you think that, you're just going to, leave home because you and your parents have a different political philosophy, therefore you need to distance themselves, and after them raising you for 18 years, you don't owe your mom a phone call on Mother's Day or something like that, then that's just a cultish, that's a very cultish thing. The loyalty that he tries to inspire is very cultish, but I'm not sure he's crossed the line. All I know is if I went to one of his rallies, I sure as hell would not drink the Kool-Aid. And he does kind of look like that Heaven's Gate guy a little bit too, doesn't he? But anyways, so especially don't drink the Kool-Aid if a comet is passing by. So this guy, he's a huckster. I'm very, very concerned that so many people that I think are very intelligent in certain areas of their lives get taken in by this guy, because it's something that a guy who I particularly like a lot is Terence McKenna, and his big thing is don't take my word for it, go find out for yourself. It's why I like him. a couple of the things that he says is that truth can withstand being analyzed. So if, the idea that someone's got to separate you, from other influences is ridiculous. And the idea that there is this lack of rational ability, and that there's a certain level of relativism that people will fall into and not feel the need to do the intellectual heavy lifting that's required, and look at things from a number of different points of view. So, in closing, I want to say, I do think this guy has a lot of cultish elements to what he does. Don't send him your money. Send me your money. I need it more, number one. And I won't tell you what to think. I might tell you how you can think, but I'm not going to tell you what to think. So by all means, if you have any questions, by all, I'm sure his followers are going to put all types of terrible things and tell me how I don't know what I'm talking about. And well, this guy has misrepresented so many ideas that I know. Once again, this is not a debate forum. I don't feel the need. I think I've defined anything that I've said well enough. If you have any questions or something that's left unclear, by all means, ask. But I just wanted to put this out there and just let people know that this Stevie guy, I'm not worried, because I think that he attracts a crazy ilk, and I think that that'll be his undoing in the end. So also, like I say, you can check out my website if you're interested in tarot read or anything like that, or you can just want to donate. All those of you who are following something I'm starting called Shade to Sun, yes, that third episode is coming. Like I say, it's going to be a big one. It's going to be a long one, and it's going to be something that I want to make sure I have all my ducks in a row, because there's a part of it or two that's a little hairy. So, thank you all. Peace.